What's going on YouTube? It's your boy, the vibes, man. We're back today with the Division 2 video. We're going to be breaking down a couple of things that's going to be coming to the game, especially with this new patch getting ready to drop here on February 6th, right? So we got some news today just in regards to like different breakdowns and different things that we can expect to come to the game. And today I'm going to be taking a little bit of a chance to kind of break it down from my perspective. Everyone knows that I pretty much main PvP at this point, so I've had a lot of my subscribers and viewers and people that want to hear my feedback ask me to give my thoughts on this subject. So I'm going to be breaking down a couple of things, so just bear with me. But if you're new to the channel and you like these type of videos and you're into informational videos and things of that sort, just consider subscribing, like the video if it helps you out in any way, comment down below, and yeah, turn that notification bell on, man. If it helps the channel, helps you get the alerts when you need to get them. All right, let's get a like goal for this video for 100 likes, guys. So the first thing I want to talk about and kind of start off with is the new gear. Palisade Steelworks is the new brand that's being brought to the game, right? What it does is one piece gives you 10% armor on kill, 2 pieces give you 60% health, and 3 pieces give you 1 skill tier, right? And this is anybody that's new to the channel and like new to the game. What a brand set is yellow gold gear. Gear set is green gear. So when you see something that says brand set, if you're ever reading patch notes and you're unsure of what it is, this is gold gear, high-end gear. And then you have green gear, which is called gear sets, and that's different kind of set altogether that has less attributes, but they have great bonuses. Okay, the name chest piece is called the combuster, and it's perfectly explosive delivery, right? Whenever you throw a skill 1.5 seconds after landing, it creates an explosion, damaging enemies within 5 meters. Now, the damage scales with skill tier, dealing 25 to 100% damage of the concussion grenade. Now, I don't know if the devs haven't learned their lesson with regards to things that go kaboom. It's never truly thought in my mind that they put these things into the game to add it to PvP. I always look at new additions to the game, period, as one-sided thoughts where it's like, oh, how can we add something that they can use against NPCs? Like, for example, the festive delivery backpack. I just dropped a build the other day just in regards to a build to counter the festive delivery explosions. I just don't feel like we're taking the time to really pay attention to what's going to be good for the game and what's not going to be good for the game. So you guys leave your comments down below on this and let me know what you guys think about the Palisade Steelworks brand set. Let's move on to the Aegis gear set. This is something that I posted on my community wall. You might have seen it. I also posted it on my Twitter, where the gear set, 2 pieces equipped gives you plus 70 health, right? 3 pieces give you 15% total armor, and 4 pieces equipped unlocks the unique talent Stoic, which gives you plus 3% damage resistance for every enemy that is targeting you. The bonus is multiplied by 1 time, where the X is the number of agents in your group. You can multiply this by 4 if you have about 3 agents in your group. I'm assuming yourself included. If not, it's going to be times 3, right? And the chest and backpack talents, the chest bonus, the talent Deceit, enemies targeting your decoy also count towards the Stoic damage reduction bonus. The backpack talent is polyethylene, I might have pronounced that wrong, plating, increases Stoic damage resistance from 3 to 4%. People are probably going to rock the backpack and not really the chest piece, because if this is for PvE, this might be good just because NPCs will go for your decoy, which is, if that's going to give you additional damage reduction, then great, so be it. I can see this being broken in conjunction with just different pieces that you could run, maybe Foundry, Bulwark, and Aegis together, maybe with Ninja Bike backpack, so you can unlock a lot of different things. This thing can be combined with so many different options that I'm definitely a little worried about what this can do. I will say that this can bring back some of that solo build energy that some people are looking for when it comes to the game. So next I'm going to talk about the rugged gauntlets exotic gloves. These might be one of the worst exotics ever added to the game. You guys let me know how you feel about it. The talent is Iron Grip, minus 50% recoil penalty when hip firing, and minus 50% recoil penalty when blind firing from cover. So I'm literally confused as to what this was added for, and what do the gloves do positively? Like, what kind of damage do you get from these gloves? Do these gloves have any positive effect? Maybe they just left that part out of the patch notes. I'm not sure. But as of right now, man, this is looking really nasty. The rugged gauntlets, just another piece that's going to be added that's never going to be best in slot. Right now, we don't really have too many exotics that are best in slots aside for our masks. Maybe sometimes we have our backpacks. That's about it. And exotics need to make a comeback, and they need to, kind of step into that realm of efficiency altogether. Like, every build should have like some type type of exotic on it. We need to get back to that. So next, we're going to talk about new weapons and talents. Exotic weapons, right? The Vindicator exotic rifle. I'm not going to lie. This seems like this could be really good. I'm not going to hold you. Talent Ortiz assault interface. While scope, the weapon will highlight a random body section of each enemy. The weapon deals plus 75% weapon damage to highlighted body sections. Ooh wee. Weapon stats and mods. The magazine mod is plus 5. Muzzle mod is plus 10 optimal range. Underbarrel mod is plus 15% weapon stability. And optics rail is plus 15% weapons accuracy. So I think this is really just going to be used in conjunction with the people that like to run glass build, people that like to run pop shot builds, the people that don't really want to be near the enemies that they're shooting. They like long range combat. This is something that you guys are going to really enjoy. And I'm really worried about how this translates over to PvP. I really feel like it's going to be huge when it comes to just damage. I feel like it's going to do a lot of damage, and that kind of worries me a little bit, just to say the least. I'm just a little worried about that. All right, so next we have the Mosquito. What a name. The Mosquito exotic pistol, right? The talent is Mosquito song. I don't know about you guys, but I've never liked any sound a Mosquito makes, okay? Now, hitting an enemy applies a stack. Stacks are shared between players at 10 stacks. The enemy will forcefully target the last player to apply a stack for 5 seconds. Stacks deplete every 5 seconds. Activating the effect on enemy will remove stacks from other enemies, right? So weapon stats and mods, you guys see it there. I'm looking at this as like some form of busy little bee vibe. So we got to see how this pans out. Like, this is something that's going to have to be tested. I feel like this can be broken, but it also requires some sort of skill gap to be able to proc the actual talent. There's a mechanic that you're gonna have to do to make sure that this exotic pistol is working the way you want it to work. Next, name weapons and talents. All right, so behind you, weapon talent. My God, as if this game didn't have 0 time to kill in PvP already. We're adding a talent that's going to deal 40% weapon damage to enemies that are not targeting. Now, this is gonna be weird. Even in PvE, I feel like it can get weird. When has enemies not been able to see you in PvE? Especially in the toughest content. I get hip fired by SMGs from red NPCs from across the map and I get shot. So when does this talent proc if you're in PvE? Like when is this talent working? When are you not being looked at? Like, when are NPCs not paying attention to the only agents in their territory? I'm just confused. Now in PvP, my God. And now the main talent that we use for damage is glass cannon, optimist, measured. You know, there's different talents, but this could easily be a main talent. So let's just say you're fighting, it's a whole bunch of agents and people that's looking at you. I'm not sure if targeting means getting shot or targeted means being looked at, because this is gonna be off and on. But I can tell you one thing right now. There's been plenty of time I pulled up on agents on a decoy and they had no idea where I was. If you're telling me I'm gonna have behind you damage, whatever damage talent I have on my builds, plus whatever crit I have, including the cars holsters and all these type of multiplicative pieces, this is going to be disgusting. I just pray to God that it's not so broken to the point where it just PvP is already a struggle. I'm not going to go as far as saying it's unplayable. I'm just very, very worried about this next patch coming. So now we have marksman rifle Brutus, the M700 Carbon, the talent perfectly behind you. Now we got perfectly behind you. It's going to give you 60% weapon damage. I will say this, the M700 is not a weapon that people use right now. I think they're just trying to make sure that we use this talent. The rifle whisper M16A2, the talent perfectly behind you will also be on that weapon as well. Assault rifles, let's talk about this really quickly. I'm not going to break down each one specifically, but I'm going to talk about the weapons that I feel are getting a buff that I think people are going to use, right? So let's talk first about the F2000 replica and the shield splinter. This is something that I'm loving. We get plus 50 RPM and plus 10 magazine size. This is going to be great for all my people that don't know. The shield splinter is going to be meta next patch, man. I'm telling you right now, especially because it has perfect optimist. If you guys don't have that gun, I suggest you do it. You have to get all the 100 masks and then you'll be able to unlock the shield splinter. You can get it out of the case in the White House that's locked next to the bar. I see that as something that's going to be amazing. Also, another thing that I do like that I've seen that's going to be getting a little bit of a buff is the military P416, the custom P416, and the Eagle Bearer, all getting plus 50 RPM. It's so needed for the Eagle Bearer to get some type of love. It's been so long, man. It's been too long. All our AKs are getting a plus 8% weapon damage buff. I think I don't know if that's really needed because they're already the hardest hitting ARs in the game. Maybe that'll make it more viable. People might wear it more. I just think because of the RPM, it's just not a crowd favorite. The Honey Badger and the Savage Wolverine getting a 5 mag size increase. I think that's also a good look. But you guys let me know how you feel about these things. Let's go into the LMGs, man. The stolen LMG, the Quiet Roar, 20% weapon damage buff. Thank you, God. No one uses the stolen LMG. Why? It sucks. It just has a huge magazine. That's about it. Now, the M60 and all these hard-hitting, slow-shooting LMGs, I think getting a buff will be nice, especially if you pair it up with a gear set like Umbra and different things that'll give you that RPM that you need, along with the damage, man. I think it'll be a good look to have MG5 getting a plus 20% weapon damage buff. Woo, I think that's huge, man. We gotta look at that as like a sleeper, especially that Iron Lung. That Iron Lung already hits like a truck, man. I'm telling you, that Iron Lung is probably one of the hardest hitting LMGs in the game, easily, and that's getting a 10% weapon damage buff. So that's the LMGs, man. That's what I see right there. All these things are good. I'm just worried about how it translates to PvP and how much damage it's going to do to all of us. Like, we're all dead pretty much. SMGs, just got that up there so you guys can take a look. I didn't see anything that stood out to me too much that made me say, oh my God, these are great changes. Just a whole bunch of guns that we really don't use much. We got rifles. I'm not going to break that down too much. I don't really use rifles, but I wanted to at least have it up here so people can see what kind of changes are being made to their rifles. If you use the Ravenous, that's getting the 10% weapon damage buff. Let's talk about marksman rifles. The same thing, man. Everything's getting buffed. Everything is getting raised. And I think there's a possibility that time to kill might be increasing, because whenever I see damage being added, I tend to think that time to kill has to be getting raised, right? And how much we can stand being alive. I just want to know how you guys all feel about these changes that's coming to the game and weapons and gear. Also, after I posted on my Twitter and all my outlets, on my pages, I was just seeing so much feedback that I wanted to at least kind of put some comments up here so people can see what the devs are ignoring. Like, you know, just comments from the community, right? So let's just leave a little section here where you guys can see like just different comments that people are leaving. And as the comments are scrolling through and you're getting to see different comments from different creators, different viewers, different people in the community, whether it's content creators, people who play the game, day one players that just came back to the game. It's important for me to show these comments and show these responses, because our voices aren't being utilized in the way that it needs to be, right? So we got to make sure that our voices are heard. And I think people are doing the game a disservice by not speaking up, right? And I get it. Everybody's feedback isn't the correct feedback. And the reason why I say that is because some people don't really know the effects of both sides of the game. So sometimes people want to see changes, but they only play one side of the game. So I think it's important for us to just communicate these things to the devs, to the people that's dropping this content, and just be able to let them know, like, hey, I think this is a great change. I think this is a bad change. And I think the more of the feedback they see, especially if you're going to be playing the PTS, if you have a PC, you're able to play the PTS, go ahead and play it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Give your feedback and just let the people know how you feel, right? So that's it for the video. Sorry for the long-winded video. Again, if this is something that you guys want to see more often, just let me know in the comment section down below. Consider subscribing. It's your boy. I'm out of here, guys. Peace.